Alright, so this is Drawing in the Dark. My name is Levi Smith, and today I'm going to draw a thing. Today's thing is going to be Optimus Prime. For the past number of videos I've been doing, I have been drawing robots that, I guess all the robots in pop culture and stuff tend to be AI, but yeah, AI-driven kind of robots. And today I was going to do at least one Transformers character, and that turned out to be Optimus Prime. I mean, why not? I love his head. That's really one of the things that I'm kind of after as far as drawing this one. And as usual, even though this isn't really like a drawing tutorial page, I'm not really trying to do any particular instruction while I draw these. This thing is sped up to like between like 5 and 6 times. So trying to keep things, to a reasonable video size and stuff. But just to talk a little bit about like my process and methodology, I work out with a lot of basic shapes. I try to render out my composition as quickly as I can and with as light of pen strokes as I can. I'm using just a basic big ballpoint pen with these. So there's no real erasing. But I still do want to kind of like sketch it out and try not to be afraid of changing my mind, as it were, with a lot of the decisions. But one of the things that, because of that, as I go through this, is I do try to keep those decisions as simplified and as basic as possible, especially at first, slowly working out my idea. Relying on basic shapes and forms, general kind of rules of composition and stuff, and then from there working out details, trying to dial into particular elements, adding in some volume shading, some contrast elements and stuff. And for a lot of these, if you've been watching my videos, awesome, thank you. And you probably have noticed, that a lot of these are pretty scribbly and kind of process and style. I'm not using any rulers. I'm not tracing anything. I'm not trying to be super precious or precise with my pen strokes. I'm not trying to do this in like the most efficient minimalist kind of way. A lot of this is really an exploration of the process and of the effort. As I'm drawing, I'm trying to solve and understand what I am drawing. I mean, a lot of this is basically like a sketch process, where this isn't, say, if somebody commissioned me to draw an Optimus Prime, I would go through this kind of process at first and actually end up probably going through like a number of different variations. Rough poses and stuff, do like 5 or 6 rough poses, try to find one that's the most dynamic, and then take that one and either reproduce it on paper or bring it into something like Clip Studio online, and then digitally blow it up, shrink it, morph it a little bit and stuff, and then draw in the details and go through a much different kind of rendering process that you would see here in the sketchbook with just the ballpoint pen. I have kind of like some of these rules about drawing these pieces where I really do try to stay committed to these first impressions on what I should do, how I should solve it, how I should go about it, and then just barrel through. I mean, there's been a number of these videos where I've started drawing something that under other circumstances I would have stopped drawing that piece or gone to another iteration entirely and explore other solutions and stuff. But here with the sketchbook and with the drawing videos and stuff, I really have been trying to stay committed to the piece and where it's going and try to make it work, even though halfway through some of these I start realizing, I really could have done a different thing. I could have pursued another path on this particular piece that would have maybe been more dynamic or allowed me to work in different kinds of details or forms or compositions. And sometimes that'll occur to me not until not until I get like halfway through, 3/4 through. But for the book here, I stay committed to this original concept, and I try to continue to work it up and try to add to it and stuff. This one in particular, this Optimus Prime, I mean, I did have a lot of fun with it. There are a number of things that I feel like I could have done better, would have done different. I probably should have made his waist a little bit wider, honestly. Coming down from his ribs, I think that probably cuts in a little bit too much there. I wanted to give him a little bit more of like a streamlined, agile kind of look to him and stuff. And by doing so, you can narrow that stomach area and everything, and it tends to make them look a little bit more lithe and athletic, I guess. And I really like how the head turned out and everything. Even though I had to I did change my mind a couple of times with how I wanted the head to work. This is one of the pieces though that while I'm drawing it and the thoughts I'm having like in the moment and the decisions I'm making, I really wish I could record those better, or had a better opportunity to record those in the moment, as it were, because I think it would reveal a lot more about my work process, and even show a little bit more like how much like wandering, how sometimes the piece can get a little uncertain in where it's going, or how I'm going to get it there, or what I should work on next. I do happen to record these in sections and stuff, and then I have to stitch them together and everything. So I do end up draw for half an hour or an hour, and then have to stop and do something else, and then come back to it for another half an hour or an hour here and there as I can, and then I compress them all down and stuff. This one was like just under 2 hours as far as like the whole piece overall, and it I think it turned out. I slowly build up value, separation, contrast, line weights, and I just try to keep it all with this pen. So there's no digital stabilization to the lines, there's no brush packs, there's no enhancements, there's no tracing, there's no I'm looking at reference and stuff as I draw this, because I want to try to make sure that I'm getting the details at least mostly proper. One of the things that this piece does miss, that I don't necessarily feel bad about leaving out, but would have basically been a lot cooler if I did, is the Autobots logo on his shoulder, his left shoulder piece there. I was planning on putting it there, but it didn't work out. It's going to take a while, and I just didn't end up doing it. I wanted to move on and stuff from this one. It was fun. It was fun, but at the same time, stuff like this can be, kind of challenging just in managing how specific the detail is, and get, kind of heavy in detail and stuff for some of these pieces. Man, it has been hot. It has just been a hot summer. Even up here in Montana, it's hotter than usual. It's steamy as hell. The humidity is like crazy. The level of availability of air conditioning in Phoenix is not necessarily a thing up here, and it sucks. It sucks, but I'm in a way actually looking forward to going back to Phoenix for a little bit, getting some of that dry 115 plus degree weather, and that's really what I'm suited for. All this hot steam, the humidity levels, and to the people up here, it's not even that humid. But for me, it's like, holy shit, why doesn't anybody live here? I think that sometimes, and I necessarily wouldn't mind living up here, but man, the acclimation is, that's a lot. From the very cold winters to some humid summers. They're still hitting, I think it was like 90 something out here today. I don't even know what the humidity was. I wasn't checking, but I know I was sweating my ass off, and I don't do that so much. Woof. But, yeah, so, Optimus Prime, man. He's pretty cool, I don't think that there's ever been, maybe there has been at a certain point, but I really highly doubt it, where, like, Optimus Prime went, like total rogue, evil AI kind of thing. But he does come from, like, a species of aliens that are all kind of just AI, and a lot of them are evil. Maybe it would have been better to do, like, a Starscream or, one of the villains or something, which, honestly, would have been fun. A lot of the shots of, because of the stoic hero qualities of Optimus Prime, there's a lot of standing shots, and a lot of these marquee shots, the ones that you find the easiest, let's say, like on Google, or that they put on all the t-shirts and toys and stuff like that, they tend to be a little on the stiff side for characters like Optimus Prime here, or Voltron and stuff. And one of the things that I do need to do a little bit more is to delve into, and with this one, if I could have, like, sketched out like 5 or 6 poses, I think I would have landed on something a bit more dynamic. But for the videos, I do try to take it easy on myself a little bit. Just do that, and then, find the most dynamic pose, and then, take a few minutes of, like, oh, here's some Optimus drawings, and, Optimus, I don't know, maybe I should use Starscream, and then, opened up a little bit more excitement, I would say, for the process. Because one of the things that can be a real challenge with these pieces and stuff is that, it might be interesting on a surface level, but not necessarily exciting on a deeper level, or necessarily inspiring, thinking of a character, say, like, oh yeah, let's draw Johnny 5, and then working on, well, Johnny 5 can't, there's a lot of physical positions and stuff that Johnny 5 can't take on, so you have to kind of just play around then with, like, the positioning of the view, the camera, as it were, and and that can be, pretty tricky as well. And so with some of these videos and stuff, I do end up, and I'm hoping to expand, to get a little bit, one of the things, that is a goal with these pieces is, and this process, is to, like, on the fly, make better initial decisions as I'm going, and kind of tightrope walk it with the video and all that stuff, to kind of, like, push myself into a little bit of a corner, to start making these decisions a little bit more on the fly. And, working through a ton of pop culture characters and stuff, just knocking off tons. I want to add a list of all kinds of different pop culture characters to get into all this. Ones I've drawn in the past and stuff, and then a lot of new ones that I haven't drawn, which already, we're kind of getting into that, especially with characters like Johnny 5, or Voltron, for sure. But, yeah, so anyway, we're pretty much getting to the end of this one. I do like how he turned out, even though there would have been a lot of other decisions I'd have made differently on this one, given a different kind of opportunity. But don't forget to check out the Pop Culture Classics podcast by Kenny Puckett and Levi Smith. That's me. That's available wherever you can find a podcast. And then we have the art books that are on Amazon that are available: The Curse of the Jade Monkey, the Comic Book Planner, and the All Skulls Coloring Book. I would love it if you guys got on there, did a little search, found that thing, and bought it. And you don't even really have to do a little search, because the links are all in the description. Take you right to it. And then, we have some t-shirts and stuff. We've been working on an online store. The status on that thing is always kind of like what it is, so you'll have to go check it out, jademonkey.net, and buy one of our very cool t-shirts. From there, I hope you enjoyed the video. I mean, if you made it this far, then you are one of the lucky few. And yeah, thanks. Like and subscribe. We'll catch you later.